Well, hey friends, and welcome. Today we're going to be giving our living room a major makeover and refresh. We've made minimal changes to this room since first moving into this house over 3 years ago. We're still rocking the exact same apartment size furniture. Even though there are some elements of this room I really like our gallery wall, there are other spots that just feel completely neglected. So my goal is to refresh this space, to infuse it with character and functionality to meet our hosting needs. We do a lot of hosting. The space as it's set up right now just isn't great for that. And then also too, we have a little one on the way. So there are some changes and adaptations I want to make for that as well. Then just generally too, I just want to infuse it with a sense of coziness and personality. And to accomplish that, there are a few specific things that I want to do. So first, we're going to add in some extra seating. It's finally time to say goodbye to that apartment size furniture. And we're also going to add in a bookshelf. Right now our books are stored in our future nursery, so I want to bring them in here so we can clear that space out. And for that personality piece, I want to infuse this room with more color and texture. And we'll also swap out some of the decor, maybe some of the prints as well, just to give this room a feeling of being fresh and new. The vibe I'm going for, we've kind of already started, but I want to take up to the next level. It's kind of collected meets mid-century with some vintage inspiration and plenty of just beautiful earthy neutral colors. So it's kind of the inspiration, that's where we're going. And over the past few weeks, we've already started selling some of the larger pieces of furniture that we knew we wanted to part with, as well as having some of the newer pieces brought in and delivered. And actually just the other day, we got our new couch. Christopher did such a great job putting that together, assembling it for us. Cannot wait to share it with you. But today is when the fun really begins. Get to see it all come together. So I want to begin with bringing in and putting together some of the larger furniture pieces that will give us a base that we can style from. But first, of course, to make space for all the new bits, we had to begin with clearing everything out. So now that we've got pretty much a blank canvas to work with, apart from a few elements behind me that we'll be keeping, we can start adding things back in. The first thing I want to do is replace this rug. It is super hard to clean, so it is just not going to be child friendly. And at this point, it has seen a considerable amount of wear. So let's give this rug a quick vacuum, then we can roll this one up and bring out our new one. Now we get to vacuum a second time all the dust that was trapped beneath it. Time for the new rug. First, we're going to put down a rug pad to make it feel just a little bit more plush underfoot. So we've got the rug pad down. It already adds just a really nice layer of cushioning in here. Now let's get the rug in. This rug is exactly what I was looking for. I love how it maintains that light, bright feeling in our space, but also brings in a beautiful element of pattern, of texture, and so much color. It's like every color I was wanting to incorporate into this space, this rug just beautifully brings in. And with the rug pad too, it is just so soft underfoot. So now let's bring in our new couch, the chairs, see what it all looks like together. Then wait for it, these chairs might be what I'm most excited about. Okay, let's take a second and chat furniture. First off, this couch checks all of the boxes for what I was looking for in a new couch. The number one thing I wanted was more space. Our previous couch, while we loved it from a functional perspective, was very apartment sized and never quite feel like it fit properly in this space. So we knew we wanted something with extra seating. I also wasn't huge on the dark gray color of it. It was great that it hid stains, but the undertones of it just never felt like they worked in this room. So I really wanted something that would just work a bit better, have more space, and feel more cohesive. So 10 out of 10 fan of this couch. The only thing I wasn't positive of when we first got it was the color. It is a little bit cooler toned than I was initially expecting. However, I have to say, having brought the rug into this space, it really just ties all the colors of this couch in perfectly. Then the other big thing that I wanted to do in here furniture wise was to bring in 2 chairs to replace the one large gray one that we previously had. The idea behind this was to gain some extra seating as well as to incorporate a style element. I feel like these green velvet chairs just meet that brief perfectly. They're pretty compact, which was important in the space that we're working with. They're also really comfortable and add just a beautiful textural element to the space. They're really comfy too, which is always an added bonus. So far I'm loving all the changes that we've made. I feel like it's all coming together. The only thing that I'm not sure what to do with is our coffee table. So the issue with this coffee table, well, really it's 2 things. Number one, now that our couch is a lot longer, I'm just not sure if scale-wise it's long enough to match. Feel like it's kind of a little bit borderline, but the bigger issue is this. This leg right here is incredibly wobbly, and sometimes it will literally just fall over whenever somebody rests their leg on it. And so because of that, it is just not child friendly. We're about to have a baby crawling in less than a year. So I don't know. I keep going back and forth between whether or not I want to try fixing or replacing the coffee table. So let me know what you would do or if you have any ideas. But for the meantime, I think we are going to keep it because I just haven't found anything that I like enough to replace it with. Okay, but then the next project that I wanted to tackle was adding some visual interest to the empty wall on the opposite side of the room. Apart from a single poster, we'd left it completely blank, so I wanted to turn it into a more functional and interesting space. And with my former office and where we previously held our books about to be turned into a nursery, figured that this was the perfect opportunity to put a bookshelf against the wall. And the double benefit of this is it gives us a place to store our books while also adding a vertical element that side of the room desperately needed. When I came across this very elegant arched bookcase, I had a feeling that it would be the perfect thing for this space. I love the lines of it, the fluted wood, and also the flat color too. I feel like really adds a depth that this space needs and switches up a lot of the kind of mid-tone woods that we have going on. Well, it is now a couple of hours later, but we've got the bookshelf built, and I'm already loving just the vertical interest and dimension that it brings to the space. And it's gonna look even better with some books in it. So now, for the rest of the day, I want to spend some time hunting for some final few pieces to finish out the space. So things I'm looking for are, I'm thinking either a bench, a side table, just something to go beside the bookcase and to kind of continue filling that wall out. Also considering doing some ottomans somewhere in here, again, to add an extra seating element. Hey, if we find the perfect coffee table, I'm down to buy that. But then also, I think it would be really nice just to add in some new bits of art and decor to kind of freshen things up in here. So my first stop was to World Market, and I actually got lucky. The location I visited, I guess, is closing soon, and so the entire store was 20% off, and they had a really beautiful selection of greenery, of florals, of candles. Even spotted a coffee table that I did really like and I thought could maybe work for the space. The price point on that was still a little bit higher than what I was wanting to pay, but there is a chance I go back for it. Then my next stop was to our local antique mall, and I always love just perusing to see what types of hidden gems I can come across there. I feel like it's always where you stumble across the most unique and interesting pieces. Then Home Goods was my last stop for the day, and I feel like for smaller furniture pieces, they really are just such a fantastic, very affordable option. And they had so many different bench and ottoman options, as well as an amazing selection of textiles. Well, it is now the next day, but we had a super successful time out yesterday. Let me show you what I found. So first, a couple bigger items. I found this beautiful lamp that I want to put in this corner. I feel like scale-wise, it's just going to fit so much better than this lamp, which I feel like just reads as a bit short for the space. Sure, we can find somewhere else in the home for that, but I think it was $80 I paid for this. I love this find. Then I also found this leather ottoman, which I want to put beside the bookshelf, and hopefully that will really just kind of help tie that space in a bit and also add in a bit more color and texture. Love the faux leather on that. Then I also found some smaller bits as well. I love this sweet little bud vase. I feel like the colors, the texture of this are perfect for this room. Also found, and I'm so excited about this little vintage easel. This was only $5, and I love the color of this, the kind of ribbon detailing on it. So beautiful. Cannot wait to display a piece of artwork on that. Thinking on the bookshelf that would look so good. Then at Home Goods, I found this beautiful kind of like black, I don't even know what the texture is, but kind of like a stoneware type vessel. I think that the silhouette of it is really interesting and unique, and I thought it would look really nice just having some sprigs, some stems, something like that in there. And then this was from, I believe, the antique mall. I found this really, really cool, just unique piece. It really reminds me of, we went to Santorini a couple years back. Really gives me Santorini vibes though, and I feel like it matches, like it ties in all of the colors I want in the space so well. So I was so excited when I found that. Also, I love just the simple framing. Beautiful, beautiful. Then we have, I think this might be petrified wood, or at least made to look like petrified wood. It's like a little bookend, and so figured for the bookshelf that would be really nice just to be able to keep some books up. A couple of stems too. Not exactly sure what kind of plant these are supposed to be. I know I've seen them before, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So go ahead and comment it below if you know. But I thought that that would be really beautiful, maybe in the black vase. And then I also thought that these faux hydrangea stems were just so realistic looking and beautiful. They're real touch, so they have a really interesting texture to them. I found these at Home Goods, and for a second I literally thought that they were real, which to me is always a good sign that you've picked a good one. And then last couple of things, I've got a couple little frames here. I feel like in the past I've always gravitated towards very basic, kind of very much the same frame in different colors, but lately I've been really enjoying just kind of having different, unique, and interesting frames. So I really liked this gold one and this wood one. This gold one actually goes so perfectly with this watercolor that we bought back when we were in Ireland. I think that that looks so sweet together. The only thing is I don't love the matting on it. So it says like King John's Castle, and yeah, there's like a little smudge on it. The matting is not my favorite, so I was able to find one yesterday at the antique mall. So I want to kind of put this together today, but I think that the new matting with the frame, with the picture, it's gonna look beautiful. So that's everything that I picked up while I was out, but then of course too, I had been just getting some different bits and pieces here and there over the past few months that I also want to incorporate into our space. So that's what I want to focus on now. I want to bring in some new pieces and just tie it in with some of the existing decor pieces that we already had, really bring this space to life. I wanted to begin with styling up the bookcase, adding in some bits of decor as well as all of our books. Very much still a work in progress, but this is kind of the vibe that I want to go for with our bookshelves. I want something that looks pretty, is aesthetic, yes, but is also practical and kind of looks lived in. Like, I want it to look like we actually read the books that we have on our shelves, because we do. I feel like whenever you see people style books or bookshelves on Pinterest or whatever, they always use like 3 books. And I just feel like for a family that reads, that's just not super practical. And so trying to find that right balance of having the books on here that we actually read and use and all of that, while also still giving it kind of a aesthetic element to it. But trying to combine form and function. I feel like we're getting there. I have to say, along the way, there was a moment when I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out, but it was one of those trust the process type of things, and I love the result. I love how we were able to achieve a great balance of books we love, some collected type objects, as well as I think we have a really beautiful balance of colors as well, although we do have some fun, very colorful series at the bottom. Then for this next project, we're going to be staying right in this little area. A few years back, Christopher painted these 2 beautiful paintings, and right now I feel like they're just kind of floating in the hallway without really being a feature. They're so beautiful, so I'd love to draw some attention to them. So I picked up this little battery-operated picture light on Amazon. I think it would be really cool just to hang it right above there. So I think I'm gonna have Christopher help me install this, but it's really cool. You literally just tap it on, tap it off. I feel like it's going to add just that extra little bit that's missing from those pictures. What do you think height-wise would be good? See, that feels like a tiny bit too low to me. Yeah, I think something like that would be good.
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah.
The corner goes to the bottom.
So I feel like the next step is going to actually be to get those pictures framed, but I love what that light does just to really make those paintings not something that recedes into the background, but instead a feature. And I have to say too, there's something about using a drill as a girl that just makes me feel so capable. Anyone else like that? But now let's tackle the couch. I want to add in some throw pillows and blankets just to bring some texture and color to this space. Then let's also replace the lamp, and then I normally have a little blanket basket in the corner. I feel like that's the perfect spot for that, so let's set that up. Okay, let's see what this looks like in the corner. I think it's gonna be perfect. Yeah. Just gonna steal the light bulb from the sky. There we go. And then we'll just slide the blanket basket right in front. Okay, then for the couch, the first thing that I want to do is to style up this beautiful checkered blanket along the back wall. What this accomplishes is really two things. First, it adds some visual interest so that when you're looking at the couch from the back, it really breaks up just that wall of fabric. But then also too, this couch, while great in so many ways, didn't assemble quite properly aligned, and Christopher tried fiddling around with it. He said there was nothing he could do about it. So this blanket also does just hide one of the spots where you can kind of notice the misalignment of the different pieces a bit more. Then I just went in and added some new throw pillows and blankets to cozy up the rest of the couch. So continuing to work our way around the room, let's next tackle the coffee table. I feel like coffee tables are one of those spaces that I have always struggled to style, but I have been looking up some inspiration, some ideas, so hopefully we can come up with something we like. I find that when styling up a space that you just don't have a vision for, finding inspiration can always help. But then also too, I find that just trying things out, shuffling and reshuffling items can really be one of the best ways to kind of give you the results that you're looking for. Sometimes our first idea or our first attempt doesn't work out quite the way we want it to, and that's okay. Often all it takes is just being willing to play around with things a bit. So we are in the home stretch of this project. We just have the shelves behind me, a few pieces of artwork that I want to add to the walls, but the more I've been thinking about it, the more I've realized I really want to update some of the imagery, some of the prints that we have in our frames. So we're going to pick out some pictures I've taken, some beautiful pieces of art, and use that imagery to just further update and refresh the space. And since artwork is typically a huge bit of what I display on these shelves, I want to wait until I have the prints to put these together. So I'm going to work on that for the rest of the day, but then once we get those prints, we can finish up this space. So it is a new day. I just picked up our prints. What I want to do now is to spend some time styling up this space, swapping out our prints, doing the shelves behind me, and just generally putting the finishing touches on this room. We have so many beautiful photos here to work with. So let's pick out what we want to use and start putting them up. I'm loving the new artwork in the frames, just a really easy way to keep things fresh and fun, but we definitely need to switch out the artwork on our frame TV to kind of find something that's going to better go with it. Because this one here just does not coordinate with the colors of the prints. Okay, let's see here. I feel like the vibe works, but we need something with some green. Oh. I mean, we went there. Oh no, the colors are all wrong. I want to find just the right balance. I think think this might be the keeper. So I think we're gonna go with this one for the time being. I really like how it ties in some of the oranges from the picture up here, and thematically I think it really works well for the Ireland, Alaska, and I think we have some England prints up there as well. So I feel like it all just kind of makes it look a bit more cohesive. So now I want to work on these shelves. We've styled them the exact same way pretty much since we first got them. What was it, like 3 years ago now? So I really want to just switch things up a bit. I'm going to keep some of the elements similar, but I think it's time for something new here. One thing that's not changing though is this picture of Christopher and I. Right there. Now, let's try some books. Maybe put a little print. That's kind of fun. Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Close your eyes, get out of your skin. Only this matter, let it in. If I could, I would be right here with you. In this world of ticking clocks, I hope I'm getting through.
All the finishing touches are now in place and I'm just obsessed with how this room came out. So before we get to the final reveal, just as a quick reminder, here is what our space looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. So I really hope that you all enjoyed coming along with me as we transform this space. I cannot wait to start hosting and living in here. Now, I'd love to know what was your favorite part of this makeover. Be sure to let me know in the comments. And as always, friends, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.